What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so it's been a few weeks since I've uploaded a video. The last video I uploaded was for me, of course, selling the CTS V Sport, and of course I kind of mentioned in it that I got rid of the 4Runner. So I was down to one car from three, which was the wife's Pathfinder, and I kind of mentioned in that video, and I tried to hide it once, but I noticed that I forgot to hide it the second time, or the first time. I mentioned okay, exactly what car I was getting. I was trying to keep it a surprise, but if you guys paid attention to it, you caught it. Either way, so I'm just gonna go ahead and introduce the new car to the video right now. So you guys take a look at it and we get on with this video. I don't want to make it too long. I'm gonna introduce it, show you why I got it, and kind of explain a couple things here and just show the car all around and what we're gonna be doing with the car. So without any further ado, here is the new car to the video. All right, so here it is. That is it. It is the Escalade. Again, I've mentioned it in the last video if you guys caught it, but it's a 2016 Cadillac Escalade. It is just a premium luxury, so it's not the platinum trim. And I mean, I like it. It's black. And I'm going to show you guys the inside, outside. I'm going to show you the good and the bad about it. And I'm going to tell you guys why I picked this vehicle and why it took me so long to get one. Okay, so first of all, let's start off why it took me almost 4.5 weeks, almost a month and a half to get one. Reason being was I've actually been driving this car for about 2 weeks already prior to this, 3 weeks prior to buying it. I work at a dealer, and we bought this at an auction. And the reason it took me a while to get it is because I wasn't sure about this one, and there was a white one as well. And the white one looked beautiful, white interior. It even had that kind of like orangey, white exterior with an orangey type of interior. I loved it. I loved the car, loved the way it looked, but it was higher mileage. Also, everything about that car, exterior and everything, looked really good, and there was nothing really needed, especially in the white one. You couldn't really see the paint, how bad it would be if it needed to be paint corrected or anything like that. On the black one, you could see everything. So those were my choices. I was going back and forth. The problem with the white one was it had more miles than this one did, and it also had a bunch of electrical codes, a bunch of them, VCM codes, ECM codes, and I couldn't get rid of them. And instead of, you know, with the headache I would have with that and the higher mileage, I was just like, you know what, they were the same year as well. And it was actually a step lower. It was a luxury only. It wasn't a luxury premium like this one is. So I decided to go with the black one. Now, I'm gonna show you guys everything good about this car so far, and then I'll show you what we need to fix in this car and what the bad is. So again, the car looks really good. If you guys can look at it on the camera, everything looks good, but let's take a closer look at everything. Of course, this does have the light up door handle, so the door handles light up, which the other one did not. So take a look at this. You open the doors, the door handles all light up. It also has the step rails, the automatic step rails, but all the door handles light up. Of course, it has the Cadillac kick plates, which I don't have to install that, which is a good thing. And of course, here's the interior. Black with black interior. 22-inch wheels, and I mean, it's got the sunroof. I love the way the car looks. So, and again, it's black. I already tinted the windows, of course. From this side here, of course, it's got the new cluster. The 15s didn't have this cluster. Had the older cluster like I had on my CTS. These have the upgraded cluster. Of course, your Q system. Roof, we have, of course, the monitor up there. Unfortunately, this is the older monitor. This is the monitor that has the 3 AV connectors, which is the yellow, and I'll show you guys that in a second here. Actually, we'll go back here. How you connecting to this? It's got the yellow, the white, and the red. And of course, you get video up there, or you can play a DVD from the front console on there, which there'll be some upgrades getting done for that as well. So this is the car. Love it. 4-wheel drive and bigger. Again, it's basically a marriage between the CTS in a way. Engine is 6.2 liter. Of course, it has 420 horsepower and 474 pounds of torque, which by specs, it's actually the same almost as the V Sport. Of course, the V Sport weighs about 3,800 pounds compared to 6,000 pounds that this thing weighs. So it doesn't get up and go like the V Sport. Chrome grille, of course, you know, guys, what's going to be going on with this whole grille here and everything else. But yeah, the car is beautiful. I love it. I've been driving it for almost 3 weeks, like I said, and I'm enjoying every minute of the car now, or the truck actually. Now, let's look at the bad. Also, this car has 47,300 miles. The white one I was talking about earlier had 68,000, almost 70,000 miles. So this car has 47,000 miles. Now, again, we bought this at an auction. The price we bought it for was $34,100 after tax, title, license, putting tires on it. I had the dealer put tires on it where I work, so I had to pay for those, of course, and warranties on it. I have a warranty that I bought through Quality Guard, which is a really good company. $100 deductible. It's a total of a 7-year, 75,000 additional miles to what I have. So it'll take me up to about 122,000 miles or so with the vehicle. So that's, after all being said, I was about 43,000 all said and done again. So again, for 47,000 miles, and I'll show you guys the odometer here so you guys can actually look at it. Right there, 47,000 miles, 47,514. So again, I enjoy the car. Now here is the bad about it. When I first got the car and I first saw it, and it wouldn't be a full bad thing, but here's the thing, it's black. So I've already seen all the swirl marks. Of course, it doesn't catch it right here, but I've seen the swirl marks already. But when I first bought the car, the tires were completely shot. The alignment was way off. So of course we did that at work. New tires, I put some Defenders LTX MSs on this. Alignment is now set straight, but the car, as in the Carfax, has 3 accidents. No structural damage, no rebuild title, just 3 accidents. One shows in the front, minor. One shows on this side, and one in the back end. So this car was kind of hit all the way around. And you kind of see it here. If you look at right here where the hood is at, look at the lining right here. It's a gigantic gap, same thing right there. And of course, between the light and the actual bumper, the front fascia. If we go to the other side, you don't have that gigantic gap anywhere. See that? Or same thing, there's none of the lining in here. It's nice and set. Now that could just be an adjustment I have to do. I do know that this side of the bumper is broken and the clip's missing, so I gotta see what's going on in there. Probably just pop it in, or it's missing the bracket in there. We'll figure it out. We got some scuffing down here and a broken fog light. Another thing is this car has the automatic step rails. This one stuck out, doesn't go in. I've tried lubricating it. I've tried a couple other things. The other side has power, so the fuse is working and it's getting power to it. It's just I believe this motor is shot. And again, the issue that this car had was it was hit on this side. So a couple things. When I first got it, this wasn't lighting up. So of course, when I went in there, I popped the trim piece out, which just pops right off. It was disconnected. So we put it back together, didn't connect it. Another thing was on the door over here. Get in here. Look at the weather guard, the weather strip. It's kind of like kinked, weird. So I may have to replace that or kind of move it around, see if I can get that kink. Another thing on here, this car is, it's got a radar detector built in. I hate it. I don't like radar detectors. Of course, it says front suspension service error, and I'll get to that in a second. For one, the Q system doesn't work. And it's not that it doesn't work, it actually does respond. If you go do this, it responds. You could check, see all that. So it's not frozen. You could change this to auto, turn auto off, change that. All these things work, so it does respond. All down here works. It's just that this doesn't work up here. Now, the top of the screen does work, if somewhat, but then it gets all finicky. So it basically, when that usually happens, it's just the screen. So I have that, and I'm going to be replacing it in another video. Another thing that doesn't work on this car is the side cameras, both side cameras. So I'm not sure why. That's something I'm going to have to check. So some of these things, though, again, is going to be looked at by the dealer when the warranty kicks in. Most warranties takes about 90 days or 3,000 miles to kick in, depending on the warranty you bought. Mine does. As it comes to the actual, the Q system, I'm going to replace that myself. I'm not going to wait for, more likely the warranty will probably replace the entire radio. We're going to replace the Q system screen because that's the only thing that's bad. I'm gonna do that because I can't drive 90 days or 3,000 miles without the proper radio. I mean, the radio works. If I plug it onto my phone, I can hear the music. I just can't see anything on the screen. I can see it on my heads-up display and on the center console or on the dash, but I can't see anything on my screen, and I can't touch anything because it doesn't do anything. Another thing with the car, other than, of course, the stuff that I already showed you guys, is that I don't think that the compressor is properly working. So it says right front, or service suspension. The code that I've scanned it is for right front solenoid, which somebody told me already that it is a right front strut probably. But I've never heard the compressor come on. There was a white one, like I said earlier, that I was looking at. On that white one, when the car started, the compressor turned on. And I don't know if you guys, people out there with these Escalades, take a look at this. Does that look kind of high to me? It kind of looks a little bit higher than it should be. Seems like the struts or the shocks are kind of stuck up. And these are air shocks back here. Now, they're not hard to replace. But again, I'm going to have the warranty look at all that. Most warranties will cover struts. Some, depending, will cover shocks. Shocks are known as wear and tear on normal cars, but these being air shocks, they may cover them. All that's going to be looked at by the warranty. Couple things I already did to this car to begin with is the temperature gauge wasn't working. It was stuck always at 160 or just flat down. I already replaced the thermostat on it to get that working. I had a check engine light issue with a mass airflow, replaced the mass airflow. That's already been taken care of. And pretty much now the car, it drives good. Another thing that I did, and anybody getting a car with this system should do this. I've done enough research, is basically this car has the active fuel management or displacement on demand, sorry. And that is basically where it shuts off half the cylinders for the car to run. On this one mainly. There's the V6s, they have the V6s, the 4.3 liters, they shut off 2 of the cylinders and runs on 4-cylinder. This one shuts off 4 of the cylinders and goes from V8 to 4. So if it says V8, you can see it on your little screen and say V8, V4. On the 6, it says V6 to V4. And that's when you're cruising, you get up to a certain speed, you let off the throttle, and all of a sudden it drops and it's cruising and it drops to V4. But then when you hit the gas again, it activates 8 cylinders. Now, from what my understanding is on some of these vehicles, there's been an issue with those lifters that causes that. And the lifters will get stuck. Something will happen in reality. I'm not sure exactly what happens, but they can be basically catastrophic for the engine. So one of the first things I did already, and I didn't show a video because there's plenty of videos out there already. And again, I didn't do a video on replacing the temp sensor or any of that stuff that I did with this car because there's enough videos out there already about that. Is basically I already shut it off. I shut off the active fuel management. Now I didn't delete it. A lot of people say delete, because deleting would be getting new cams and lifters and doing a whole huge expensive job, which I'm not at that point yet. If I want to do that, I may think about doing it, completely deleting it, but I shut it off. It prolongs the life of the engine because it's not always shutting on and shutting off this system that it has. That I even hated it. You could feel it when it switched. It was just awful. I felt like the car just kind of bogged down a little bit. So, and it's supposed to be, you're supposed to not be able to feel it, but I did. You could actually feel it. And I've heard people say they actually feel it as well. So I shut that off. Now it just stays on V8 the whole time, which I'm fine with. I knew I was getting a big old gigantic V8 and I knew it was going to be a gas guzzler, which actually is not that bad. But that's been shut off, like I said. So those are the good and the bad about the Escalade. Overall, I'm kind of happy with the purchase, the price that I got it for. Again, it was 42 something, almost 43 grand. And it has a warranty on it. I got gap insurance. You always get gap insurance on a car, especially if you don't have a big down payment, which I pretty much was going to do a big down payment on this one, but I didn't. I decided to go 0 down payments and buy straight out. So the things that I'm not going to do on video for you guys is going to be the cameras. We're going to take that to the dealer when the warranty kicks in. Of course, it also has a leak, by the way, from the cooler lines. Not bad. It's not dripping on the floor. There's nothing on my floor, but they're seeping. So those are going to be taken care of at the dealer once the warranty kicks in. I will take it in and see if they'll do this. Now, sometimes this is considered an accessory, and extended warranties don't cover accessories. So this might have to be something I do myself. The suspension, I'm going to ride out the suspension for the next few. Again, I don't drive that much with it. My most drives on a weekly basis at about 100 miles a week if I put that many miles on it. So I'm going to leave that whole thing alone. We will be replacing this tail light that's cracked. And of course, figuring out this bumper situation up here with a new fog light for sure. Now, the brakes also make a creaky noise when you step on them. So I will be getting new brakes on top of that. And you guys out there with Escalades have had Escalades before, let me know. It feels like these brakes don't grab. Now I know it's a huge heavy truck, but it feels like the brakes should be grabbing. When sometimes I hit the brakes, it just feels like they just don't grab enough. So I am gonna be replacing the pads and rotors on this car. Like I said, it makes a creaking noise as well. So something wasn't lubed properly here, something's going on. Every time I press on the brake pedal, you just hear this creaking noise. It's awful, it just sounds awful. So I will be replacing the brakes on this. But so far, the only thing I've done to this car is the tint and pretty much tires on it. It's as much as I've done to the car itself. And like I said, the thermostat was replaced yesterday, and I basically turned off the active fuel management or displacement on demand. Now, when it comes to basically the look of the car, it will change. It will be completely blacked out. You guys already know me. This whole thing will be blacked out. Wheels, either different wheels or blackout. Now, here's the thing with this. My GM at the dealer, we're pretty cool. He's a pretty cool dude. He actually has a goal set for me for this year, for this month. If I hit the specific goal, he said he will have my car entirely wrapped any color I want and black out my wheels. So that fender or bumper issue here with these scuffings right down there, that's gonna have to wait, because if I actually hit that goal and I'm working towards hitting that goal, I'm gonna get this entire truck wrapped. A specific color, I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is. If not, then of course I will do just a chrome delete. We will definitely black out the wheels. I do like these wheels actually, and for being 22s, I don't think I will be replacing them. I'm not sure yet, because I do like the wheels. This one's got like this huge scuff around here, but if I decide to black these out, pretty much powder coat them, they'll be fixing all that. But I do love the way these wheels look. I've always liked these wheels on these Escalades, and I don't think they don't bother me. They don't. So I think these wheels will be staying for a while at least. And again, so we'll be blacking it out. Wheels. We're gonna definitely do a paint correction on this entire truck with ceramic coating. If it does not get wrapped, I just gotta hit that goal. I hit that goal and I'm able to wrap the entire truck at no charge to me. So there you have it, guys. That is the new vehicle to the channel. I am down to 2 cars, of course, right now. Maybe another car in the future, I'm not sure yet. But for now, this is it. It's gonna be the Escalade. There's some work to be done with it. I will, of course, keep you guys updated with everything I'm doing to it. Certain things I will do myself on the channel. Certain things I will not. Like I said, a lot of the things that I will get looked at are going to be at the dealer, and we'll see what they fix. We're also gonna be doing a full drivetrain service on this car that will be put on this video, on this channel. Be one of my videos. The Q system upgrade, that'll be my next video, because again, I'm going crazy without my radio properly working. So we'll be doing that next in the next video as well. So again, I'm not gonna be doing crazy mods on this thing, depending on what it is. Most of the stuff will be documented when I do something to it. Again, the only reason I didn't document the last things that I did to it, I just wanted to get them over with. And sometimes when you're recording, I do them off camera, it takes way too long to get them done. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.